Hey friends, welcome to the Glow Getters podcast. My name's Kayla Fahey-Ahrndt, but you can call me KFA because nobody can say that last name. I teach and inspire leaders to step into their power, productive selves, and unlock their fullest potential. I'm a multi-passionate creative and scientist who climbed to the top of the healthcare leadership ladder by age 28, making six figures as a manager. I share what I've learned that I wish I knew when I landed my first leadership role at age 25. You can find more from me on my Patreon site at patreon.com/KFA Glowgetters. Okay, now on to the show. Hey guys, welcome to today's episode. I am so pumped for you to be here because we're going to be talking about how to stomp out fear and take action. So, inaction breeds fear. I keep hearing this quote, so I want to expand more on how to take action and how to get going. So firstly, if you're working on a task, say you're at work or you're at home and you're working through something and you're in your head and the whole time you keep thinking, this sucks. I don't want to do this. This sucks. I'm not getting very far. I don't know what I'm doing. This isn't really fun at all. Like, I'd rather be doing something else. I've been there. Raise his hand on a Friday afternoon, right? Totally been there. So here's my advice for you. I want you to pause for the cause because you need a mindset reset. Yep, that's what I said. You need a mindset reset. So pause for the cause is a term that we use in the hospital, especially if you're in the surgical industry or suite, because essentially they do this kind of cross-check before and then in the middle and then after a surgery. And so essentially they just make sure they have everything right. And they make sure they know exactly what to do next and that they're doing the correct surgery, right? That they're doing surgery on the right body part. So they're pausing for the cause. And we need to do the same thing here when we have fear and we're not taking action. We're just kind of struggling through a task and it's just not serving us. And so we pause for the cause because we need to reframe our mindset. So here's my tips for that. Number one, physically step away from what you're doing. So I find that when I'm working at a computer, I often get lost in my head. Like my eyes start to go out of focus. I start to feel like my thoughts are going every which direction. I start kind of doubting myself. There's like distractions on there. I'm sure that the light on the computer doesn't help like stimulate my eyes and my brain in a good way. And so I find like physically stepping away from my computer helps me do a mindset reset and actually stand up from my desk or walk away from my desk and I'll take a lap around the hospital or the hallway or wherever you're at, your office, your home. You know, maybe you work from home, so you're going to go to your kitchen instead of wherever you're working, right? So take a short break and that's going to help you like just walk away from the thing, like physically remove yourself so you can come back in a new mindset. So secondly, once you're walking away, as you're kind of, decompressing and removing yourself from the situation, do a little self-check with yourself. Breathe a little bit. You're probably feeling really tense in your chest. Your shoulders are probably up. You're probably like, if you're like me, you grind your teeth or you clench your jaw or your hands are kind of clenched. So just relax. Do like a little shoulder roll back and do a check with yourself. Ask yourself, have I eaten or had any water today? So these used to be my two big things. Around 2 o'clock, I'd get what I call the 2 o'clock stupid. And I still get it sometimes, but it's not as frequent because I have some tools and tactics to help me not have this happen and run it out of energy. But one of the things is I would be working and I might bring my lunch and I might eat my lunch, but I might not have had any water. So I'm essentially like a plant who is all dry and just needs some water. So if you're going out for a walk, go get some water, fill up your mug, your reusable cup, like literally make sure that you are fueling your body. Our brains need glucose and nutrients and hydration to function as well as our bodies. So they can't function if we haven't fueled them. Okay, so remove yourself from the thing and then do a check with yourself, with your body, release tension, make sure you've hydrated and you've eaten something. And if you haven't, take care of those things. Like those are like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, like having food and fuel, that's like basics, okay? Okay, so once you've done that, maybe it's like 5 or 10 minutes okay? Unless you're going to eat, that's fine. Take a little longer, but 5 or 10 minutes, step away and come back to your space. Now, before you sit down, before you formally put yourself down in your chair or stand in front of your standing desk, I know you used to have a standing desk, before you formally get comfortable in your space, clear the space. So if you have like papers and Post-its and pens out, like put everything away. And this isn't meant to be like procrastination nation, because I am like the queen of like cleaning when I don't feel like doing something. This is to literally give you the mental and physical clarity so that you can do the task, the thing that needs to get done that you're struggling through. So clear your space. My other tip related to this is, like I said earlier, when I'm working at a computer, I find that my mind kind of gets lost in there. And so I actually like to go back to basics and work with pen and paper, or pen and pencil, paper and pencil, when I'm struggling through a task. And here's my reasoning for it. I don't have scientific evidence behind this, but I just know why I do it. So what happens is, if I'm creating like a spreadsheet or a tally in Excel, when I go to use Word or Excel or whatever it is, my mind goes right to formatting. So I like to like make things look beautiful and perfect and appealing to my eye. And so really what ends up happening is I'm not as productive in actually getting the data or the thing done, because I'm spending time on making it look nice. Okay? But when I use paper, it lends itself to creativity and natural mind mapping, and you can quickly get your thoughts out. Yes, you have to write them, and it takes an extra second, but it'll be worth it, because once you're ready to put this in digital, which we often need for our work, it'll take you like super quick time to just transpose it in there, and you'll know how you want it to look instead of just like tweaking it for like 3 hours. Any other perfectionists when it comes to like formatting out there? So I'm not like the queen of formatting. There are other people at my work who are like way better at me, but I try. I try. And so this is where I get stuck. So clear your space. If you can use paper and pen or pencil, this is going to help you so much. So that might mean if you need like a document that's on your computer, print it out. So I'm not all about like killing trees, but you can recycle the paper. You can use it as scratch paper. Like print out the invoice that you need to look at, and then physically highlight, cross stuff out on it, and use pen and paper. That's going to help you so much. Okay, so now we've removed ourselves from the space. We did a mindset reset. We physically made sure that we have released our tension. We are hydrated. We have fed ourselves, and our space is clean, and we are working in a space on our desk, wherever it is, and hopefully not at a computer. If it's at a computer, that's fine. Just know, like, close all the tabs. Close everything, disable your email notifications, like close all the tabs, okay? Okay, so now that you've cleared your workspace or desk, you're sitting there, you've got your pen and paper, think of your fear. Why are you holding yourself back? Why does this task feel so hard? And you're like, what? This is my mindset? No, this thing is just, it's awful. I don't want to, it's hard. I don't want to do it. It's a struggle. It's all in your head. So for me, it's often like, I don't like this task. It's a task I hate doing. It's a task maybe I procrastinated on and I didn't do it for a long time, so now it's a large task. Maybe it's that this is a task that you don't have all the information you need to complete it. So if that's the case, go find the information. Go ask for the information. As a manager, as a boss, as a leader, I find that a lot of folks don't ask for clarification when maybe I haven't been as clear, or they have a question about a project and they do something, or it takes them a long time and I have to follow up. And then they're like, oh, well, I didn't know I was missing like a piece of information. I wasn't able to like do my job, or like basically they'd be like, oh, I didn't have the contact for that person. It's like, you could ask for it. I could give you the contact. So there's no shame in asking for help, asking for clarity. Like, in fact, please do, because that's going to help me understand as your leader, like what other tools I need to give you, how much awareness you have of a situation. Like, I might assume that you have more knowledge than I realize, and that's fine. So just ask for help. That's the easiest way to move something along if you feel like there's a barrier. Does the task feel enormous? If it feels like a huge task, break it into small bites. Like literally write on your piece of paper, like the task. Here's the things I think I need to do to get there. Can you group some of those tasks together and work in batches? How are you going to get it done? Somehow you have to get it done, so break it down into something that's more manageable. Are you afraid of the outcome? So I know I was working on a project where I had to compare two different suppliers, and I had to look at all these numbers and compare proposals and things like that. And I think I was just really scared of what I might find once I had all the information on the page. Because decisions were going to have to be made, and there would be a lot of emotion tied to these decisions because there are a lot of people involved. And when there are a lot of people involved, there's often a lot of emotions involved. So I had to keep telling myself, let the data be the information that is the truth, not the emotion. The data, whatever is the fact, that will be the truth and the, reality, not the emotion that I attach to it. So if I'm afraid to find out what I'm going to learn by calculating these numbers, who cares? Let it show that the data is the fact. There is no emotion behind those numbers, okay? So once you figure out what's holding you back, acknowledge that without judgment. Say, okay, I procrastinated on this thing, whatever. That means that today I'm going to do it. I'm just going to do this. It doesn't matter if I should have been doing it before or I didn't have the information I needed. Today I'm going to do this thing and I'm good. Okay. So now that you are like, okay, the past is in the past. I can only move forward. My space is clear. I am ready. Set a goal and a timer. So how long do you have to work on this thing? And are you trying to do a bajillion things today? Realize you're probably only going to get a few things done. And if you're already stressed out with this project, maybe all you get done is this one thing. And that's okay. Because you'll have made progress on this thing and tomorrow you can do something else. So I don't know if you guys have heard of the Pomodoro technique by Francesco Cirillo. I'm probably saying that wrong. But he just Google Pomodoro technique. It's a tomato-shaped timer, you guys. And he says, choose a task that you want to get done. Set the Pomodoro timer for 25 minutes. So if you don't have a Pomodoro timer, that's fine. Just set your timer on your phone or your computer for 25 minutes. Work on the task until that timer goes off. When the timer rings, put a check mark on your paper, okay? And then take a short break. He suggests 5 minutes to get coffee, go for a short walk, a mindset reset, you guys. And then come back and, and then keep doing the thing. Set your timer for 25 minutes again, and then do the thing. So his technique also includes figuring out how long a task might take. So you then in the future, you work really efficiently and you can estimate it's going to take me 3 Pomodoros, right? And so we're not quite there yet today, but this is just to help you set a goal for how long am I going to work on this, and then basically make a contest with yourself and say, I'm going to work as efficiently as I can, uninterrupted in these 25 minutes to see how much I can get done, right? Maybe you finish the thing because you're not really thinking about the emotion or the fear or the thing holding you back. You're just racing against the clock to get your thing done. You do it with high quality, but just make sure, that you're actually taking action in these 25 minutes. Okay, so that's what you're going to do. You're going to set a goal and a timer for 25 minutes and ask yourself right before you start, what would the productive and efficient self do? So Kayla, what would the productive, efficient Kayla at the end of the day who's already completed this task, what would she do in these 25 minutes? And have the mindset of the most productive and efficient Kayla or Rachel or Ashley or whoever you are, okay? So you're setting a goal in your timer. Right before I start, I will say an affirmation because this is a mindset reset, you guys. And I will tell myself, I will say, I am a productive and efficient human being who is capable of completing this task today. Today, not tomorrow, today. Maybe the task will run into the next day, but honestly, you want to tell yourself you're going to get this thing done. So if you have to write that out on a Post-it or a sticky note, if you have to say it out loud or write it on a piece of paper. Like, I love that one. I am a productive and efficient human being because I remind myself I'm not a robot. I'm a human. I'm a real person. I have flaws, but I am capable of getting this shit done. Okay. And then finally, take some action. Okay. So do the 25 minutes, short break, 25 minutes, short break. So you're taking some action, then you're taking some more action. Then you're doing one thing and you're doing another thing. You are not doing all the things at once. Okay. So you're taking action, you're taking action, you're taking action. So to recap, if you're feeling like this is a struggle and you're saying this sucks and you're having a hard time getting something done, pause for the cause because you need a mindset reset. Physically step away from what you're doing. Do emotional check-in with yourself, with your physical body, de-stress, roll your shoulders, hydrate, make sure you have food. Go back to your workspace, clear it out, make sure it's clean, work without a computer if possible. Acknowledge and think of your fear and what's holding you back and release it. Do something about that. Set a goal and your timer for 25 minutes and work in Pomodoro chunks. Take small breaks, do it again. And before you start working, say your affirmation. I am a productive and efficient human being who is capable of completing this task today. Take your action. So, lastly, I'll just say, at the end of your day, make sure you go home on time. Okay, make sure that you leave or stop your work when you intend to. That means you have to know when you're going to leave. So for me, that's often 3:30 or 4 o'clock. So just know, have it on your calendar, have it on your mind, have it on your piece of paper. Because you are going to be burnt out if you keep working and working and working and you feel like you're pushing a rock up a hill and you're going to resent your job and you'll forget the reason why you do it. So it's very important that you do efficient work like this, especially when you're struggling, and then leave on time so you can refresh. We all need to rest and replenish so we can start over. Our brains also need that in addition to the fuel we talked about earlier. It needs to shut off because that's when your neural networks are forming and you'll be able to collect all the information you took in today, and then you will be able to form new ideas and create space for something more. Okay? So, before you leave, end your day on time and plan for tomorrow. Plan for tomorrow in these 25-minute bites. Maybe only have 2 things on your to-do list that are big things, or maybe it's just 1. Depends on how full your day is with other things and anticipated interruptions. Okay? So we're planning for tomorrow, which is going to help you mentally prepare to know what you're walking into the next day, and it's going to help you be more efficient and productive because you're going to have your eye on the prize when you come in, and you're going to have a new format or way to work and you know you're going to get breaks. Okay? Perfect. So here's the thing. Inaction breeds fear and more stagnancy. But guess what? Action breeds confidence and momentum. The thing you're having a hard time doing is never that scary, you guys. It's never that scary. That's the lesson I learn every time that I'm struggle busting through something, that at the end of the day, once I get done with the task or I look at the data and it's staring at me in the face, I'm like, that wasn't that bad. Next time, I'm just going to do the thing. All right, guys, until next time, be a light in the world. Thank you so much for listening. Have a wonderful day. Bye. Whoa, that went by way too fast. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode of Glow Getters Podcast. You can get the bonus content for this podcast at my Patreon site at www.patreon.kfaglowgetters. And also you can check me out on Instagram at Fahey-Ahrndt. All right, everyone, until next time, be a light in the world. Talk to you soon.